Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to an SP Reacts, where today we have ourselves a track from an act named Danny Silvertone, the song being Cameo. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves a track on Spotify here. We'll get the art up on the screen for you nice and big there. Now, we're going to be listening through this track from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go, let's do it. What do we got? Cameo. Interesting sound design immediately with the way things are panned. Oh. Nice and loud in the headphones.
I lay my whole life on the run, but late last night when the day was done, I thought of you one time before I closed my eyes. I don't want anyone else when I'm by myself, there's you. And when we both meet face to face, I'd still have to say it's true. You made a cameo in my dreams. I felt your body right beside me.
Interesting sizzle to the kit there with the...
I kept it all down myself until now. You made it difficult for me to breathe. My girl is waiting up at home for me. I never told no one else. I kept it all myself until now.
It's kind of a surreal mix. There's so much going on in the stereo field, you know, the sides of the headphones there from left to right. Different elements as well. It's asymmetrical, and it's cool to have that difference there. I think it makes the song more interesting to listen to when things aren't the same. At this point in time, I can kind of sort of like follow along with everything. It'll be interesting to see how, or hear how it goes next. Vocal chops and reverse takes.
You live your whole life on the coast, and there is where I see us both. Think of us just one time before you close your eyes. I don't want anyone else when I'm by myself, there's you. And when we both meet face to face, I'd still have to say it's true. You made a cameo in my dreams. I felt your body right beside me. I never told no one else. I kept it all down myself until now. You made it difficult for me to breathe. My girl is waiting up at home for me. I never told no one else. I kept it all myself until now. There's no comfort in your love unless you say there is. Babe, I swear by this. And there's no sun without a reach unless you stand tall next to me. That's what haunts me about you, baby.
It might have been cool if, sorry to interrupt, it might have been cool to have had like things kind of completely fade out before that last chorus, but that also might have been a little bit too kind of like,
beside me. I never told no one else. I kept it all down myself until now. You made it difficult for me to breathe. My girl is waiting up at home for me. I never told no one else. I kept it all myself until now.
interesting use of alarm sounds here to signal the danger there. And that's it done. Intriguing. All right, I think, right? Yeah, we're going to talk about this track more in the conclusion. And so welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track from an act named Danny Silvertone, titled Cameo. Now, first of all, what do we think this track is about? I think this is about someone who is struggling with the fact that they're currently in an existing relationship and their girl is at home but then they are also having these dreams about another third, someone they either used to be with or that they truly want to be with. And it's just their difficulty with sort of having these feelings and the uncertainty of this other person. They're not wanting to commit to this guy, Danny. And it's just an interesting story to talk about, a cameo in their dreams. So with the understanding of what the track's about on a first listen basis, one of the things that's done quite well here are the actual vocals here and how they're expressed here. We are comfortable in our vocal range, our head and chest voice. And we have these vocal chops and repeated takes and kind of like call and responses and hey kind of parts at the end. There's a lot of different bits of ear candy, but primarily it's just great to hear Danny's sort of texture and timbre to his voice be very sort of like very present in the mix there. We're at a pitch where it resonates neatly within the arrangement, within the frequency spectrum. There are various melodies there that suit really neatly amongst the other parts of the instrumental components, and also it's simply, it's not over embellished, but there are some little bits of flavor with some of those tails and adjustments with those and bits of legato there to show that we can sing. We're just kind of keeping it cool, calm, collected. We sound like we're struggling with not having this person with us, like we're in a desperate situation of sorts, but it's also one that we've kind of almost become resigned to in a sense. The expression, it seems like an authentic performance. There's someone really going through this. And it's what you need from a piece like this. You need to be able to sort of understand their position and to be able to empathize with them. And this is something that I think there'll be people who can, they can relate to this, unfortunately. I think finally, as a sort of a solo singer within this, without too many sort of like harmonies or backing his parts alongside it, I think it allows them to tell the story on their own as if they're speaking to someone else. In terms of the instrumental backing of it, I feel that's quite well done as well. You've got some really poignant minor-oriented parts there with arpeggios from keys or plucked instruments there. The drums have this kind of shifty, kind of reverb-soaked, kind of like sizzle to them that is both tense, but it's also almost like it's residing within the ether of their memories or their own brain. And there are bells as well, almost like we're counting down to something, or the bell is tolling for thee. And they're very pretty sounds. Like, there aren't that many harsh edges to this, even with the kind of glitchy electronic component at the end, almost like the dream had ended. It's a song where we're being very gentle with our conversation or our discussion with this person so that we don't scare them away, And there are some buzzy synths in the mid to lower range there as like a kind of way to fill it out. But the bass is relatively subtle in this piece, and it almost seems like we're walking through their mind, going through their thought processes. It's a very introspective piece. And even though the harmonies aren't, they're not super complicated, like there's not a whole lot of extensions or puts past it, there's enough going on with the fundamental triads there to flesh things out. Enough to add a bit of emotional sophistication to it. And I think, again, with some of the kind of modulated vocal takes and the way they kind of feed off each other, reverse takes, there's enough more contemporary components, synthetic and electronic parts, to contrast neatly with some of with the acoustic drum kit there. Some of the guitar, bass, or key parts there. There's just a nice fusion of different colorations there to fill out the frequency spectrum really neatly, whilst again, as I mentioned earlier, having that sort of asymmetry with the way things are placed within the arrangement and the stereo field from a post-production perspective. Things kind of swirl around the place. It's a full feature buffet effectively. And you've also again got the sirens for the point of drama, or like the alarm to it. There's all sorts of fun, interesting sounds there despite the difficulties we're going through. It's quite a well-produced piece, to be fair. I like the way that things are put together. Finally, it's the studio production. I think that with the way that things came in, nice and loud in the headphones, the bus compression and mastering, limiting is handled. I think the EQing in general is really well handled as well. Like the voice is nice and fresh and resonant within the mix without being squashed by anything else. Things around you in the stereo field, as I mentioned there, that's a deliberate panning decision on the part of everyone involved in that. And it's a song where it's almost produced in a way where it's deliberate in how expansive it is on the sides there. We're trying to really make it seem larger than life here, like the music is surrounding us in the headphones. The reverse takes and sort of vocal modulations going to different pitches and stuff like that are another effects chain sort of like solution as well. And you can tell that there's been a lot of time put after recording it to kind of getting it to sound just right. And I think that they managed to accomplish this here. without overcomplicating that component there. You know, we can still hear Danny's voice, you know, it sounds serene, but there's like subtle reverb tails and stuff like that, which seem like they're inside, again, that ether, that atmosphere that the instrumental parts have created there. And like they're having a difficult time in the simultaneously sort of like sad and somber part of the piece. And ultimately, I just think it's really well produced with a solid instrumental backing and a really competent vocal performance. But that's effectively my review of this track from an act named Danny Silvertone titled Cameo, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show them some love via their various social medias and their Spotify page, and stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next SP Reacts. Spiderhands out!